I want you to be mine again, baby. I know my lifestyle is driving you crazy. I cannot see myself with.
All right, welcome back, everybody, with another episode on the 44 Pod with your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and my co-host, Mr. Hernia, aka Coors Hearn. How we doing, baby? How we
Oh,
feeling today?
I'm feeling brisky today, boy. I tell you what, dog. I think it's you know what I'm saying? Like we getting through it, man. We got football news. We got a lot of off the field. We got a lot of on the field. I mean, shit. We just need the hose out, and I mean, we get this thing popping for the NFL season. You know, Super Bowl's coming up.
Yeah, it is, man. Yeah, the fuck it is. Um, yeah, man. I can see you got your Raider hat on. I think it's been a while since the last time you wore any Raiders gear, but like
Yeah,
any Raider fan, when the season's over, you
we're
just hope for
back.
the best for
We're
the next season,
back.
because
We're
yeah,
back.
I think
We're
I think
back.
um I think
Super Bowl, baby.
Raider
Super
fans
Bowl.
lose hope after what week 4 is when you guys start looking over the next season. So hey man, the season's finally over. You guys have the number one draft pick for next year's draft. I think it's kind of obvious that who you guys are gonna go out and go get. You just won the
Yeah,
national championship against the University of Miami.
the U.
Shout out to everyone that played at the University of Miami. A lot of
Shout
greats over
out.
there. But yeah, man. The Raiders do have a. Do you guys have two draft picks in the first round or just one?
Just one. Just
Okay,
one.
okay. But
Yeah.
hey, it's kind of hard to fuck this up. Obviously, you guys have the number one pick. You guys are in dire need of a quarterback. And what I mean by like fucking it up is like mean like you either don't want to overreach for somebody or uh it's kind of hard to pick wrong when the guy that you're obviously going to go get just won the national championship and performed pretty well, I would say overall. Had a
Mm-hmm.
great senior year or whatever, senior junior year.
Yeah.
Um, but I think the only thing you can't fuck up on this point is coach. And again, for this episode, guys, we're gonna get in depth of the new coaches, the coach vacancy spots for a head coaching job, offensive coordinators that are available at this point or getting interviewed, and coaches that already been picked up. It was kind of weird to see that a lot of them were getting picked up during the season still. I think
Yeah.
a lot of teams were kind of like not scared, but they were panicking to be like, yo, we need this guy. Like they didn't want no. I've only certain teams I feel like are doing their due diligence as far as really going through the process and making sure they get the right guy. And I feel like other teams just kind of were like, fuck it, dude, we got to go all in on this guy before he gets picked up by a different team, which is kind of crazy, but. It is what it is, but in this episode, like I said, guys, we're definitely going to get into it. We're going to get our Super Bowl predictions and react to the past weekend of games. So, no further ado. Since we're already on the topic with the Raiders, or actually no, let's go back to the past game just for fun, because everybody wants to know. I know I got bombarded with messages this weekend about how I was feeling about the Niner game. Um, it's kind of funny actually because actually let me look at the messages, right? So because I want to respond to it, because I told these guys that I wouldn't respond until the for the podcast, because there was really no reason for me to say anything if I could just save it for the episode. So let me look back at these messages because there was definitely a lot of trolling here, guys. So shout out to Joel for trying to be a troll, and especially Matt. Actually, Joel wasn't trolling. Joel, I would say he was being genuine with a slight troll. Matt was definitely the instigator in this group chat when he's the one that created it and kept trolling throughout the game. So shout out to him. He does love with trolling. Can't
Google.
hate because I think we all have our fair game. Um, I'm really just trying like, as you can see, guys, I'm really going through the messages here. It's quite a bit. So let me see. Okay, the first one, right? We're obviously in the chat. Lamar. This is what Joel said. So Lamar for Mac Jones, straight up. Who says no? Um, Kind of crazy. Whatever. That was a little troll there for fucking Joel, because he knows how much I feel about Lamar Jackson, which is kind of crazy. I think I've been more positive for Lamar Jackson than I have negative, or I would say more realistic
I think I think I
than
think you
he
just like
has.
I think for most people, like on the outside looking in, their first time hearing you talk about Lamar, you compared him to Colin Kaepernick. So kind of a tough spot to
Yeah.
put yourself in, but fair. Definitely a
Hey,
troll.
but it but it okay,
But you did
yeah. I would
like
say
real quick. Let me
I
finish.
don't think
Like I was just gonna say real quick. Like
yeah, go ahead.
although he did start this year, obviously like we've talked about Lamar before this. But like obviously the first time everyone's ever heard him on this, it was he compared him to Colin Kaepernick. But afterwards, I would say Rigo has been mostly, I would say like 80-20, like mostly positive for Lamar. So it's not like he's only called him Colin Kaepernick. To be fair to Rigo, but go ahead.
Yeah, and also to give a little bit more background, I did say that to start the season, and to back up my claim, he's kind of going in the same direction as Lamar Jackson as far as like, look how he started. Unfortunately for Lamar Jackson, he wasn't ever able to get past the second round in the playoffs. Unlike Colin Kaepernick, he actually went to the Super Bowl and lost or whatever, and went to two NFC Championship games. So unlike Lamar Jackson, which I think it's not fair to Colin Kaepernick because I think he is better than Lamar Jackson. So I probably should have been more specific about that, Joel. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, he lost his head coach, and now they're scrambling for a head coach that can develop him into that quarterback and actually take him past the second round of the playoffs. Um, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, he doesn't fuck his career up and they get the wrong guy, and Lamar Jackson ends up on a different team, or he just doesn't end up playing for another NFL team. So I guess I would say I'm not fully wrong about that one. Um, Let's go. Let me look through these messages here. Sorry, guys. Again, it's really trying to answer all these questions these guys fucking had, especially when Matt over here was the biggest troll in this fucking group chat and definitely kept asking. Obviously, when the game's second half, we're down quite a bit. So this is what Joel said, right? Said, so how's that Purdy over Lamar take going? I don't really remember saying anything Purdy over Lamar, so I don't remember I don't know where that came from. So if I did say Purdy is better than Lamar, I guess I'll back up that claim and say that Purdy is definitely better than Lamar when Purdy's been to a Super Bowl and what, two NFC Championship games, maybe three. So if we're talking about, and to be specific, right? So no one's gonna be like, hey, this or whatever, right? I'm gonna get straight to the specifics about this, right? If we're talking about strictly quarterback play or quarterback athleticism, Lamar Jackson has Brock Purdy beat 100%. There's no one in the league right now that's more athletic at the quarterback position than Lamar Jackson. So by 100%, Lamar has him beat. Now, if we're talking about quarterback play, Purdy is better than Lamar. And if we're talking about arm wise, who has the better arm as far as who can throw the ball deeper or has a slight more touch, that one for me is like almost like a 50-50. But I'm going to say Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson has a deeper ball than Brock Purdy, but accuracy wise, I'm going to say Purdy is more accurate. Although he did throw quite a bit of picks this year, when it comes down to it, I think Purdy is a bit more accurate with the football as far as that point. Um, but if overall, which quarterback I think is better based off of what they've done with their career up until this point. And I'm not going to say like, hey, this is strictly coach or whatever. I'm not going to get into all that because it's obviously a rabbit hole of being like, yo, you got this coach or whatever, right? Nothing like that. I'm not going to go down that route. Um, so strictly based off of what the quarterbacks have done with their career until this point, who's done more is Brock Purdy. And without a doubt, I think everybody knows that when you go to three NFC Championship games and been to a Super Bowl appearance. Obviously, he didn't win, but when you do all that, um, it's kind of hard to say who's not better at that point. But so yeah, so I guess if I did say Purdy was better than Lamar, um, Purdy's better. Sorry, Joel. Just you got to get over it. Lamar's not that guy. Um,
Not including
it is what it is.
you're not including MVPs, right?
Uh no, I mean, if we're talking about just okay, yeah, let me be more specific. Sorry. If we're talking about MVPs or and winning games and More than that, Lamar has Brock Purdy better beat at MVPs 100%. Obviously, Brock Purdy hasn't won an MVP, but Lamar has. But obviously, Brock Purdy has won more games and been to games where that matter, other than winning games in the regular season and then can't get past the second round or the first round of the playoffs. So I think ultimately, I think anybody as a fan and as players, if you were to ask them, hey, would you rather win an MVP besides Cam Newton? Because Cam Newton's retarded. Um, would you rather win a Super Bowl or MVP? I think everybody in the right mind would say, hey, let's win a Super Bowl. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hearn. What would you rather win? Your quarterback to win MVP or your team to win a fucking Super Bowl?
We need a chip. Need a chip.
Exactly my point. So I think chips don't super MVPs don't matter in this conversation. So I'm really just trying to get down to nitty gritty because I know the clips will be taken from this podcast and Joel will say whatever he has to say, or any Baltimore fan has to say what they got to say. But again, I'm just really just trying to get straight to the point. Um, let's see, Matt. Again, your team gets excited for the Super Bowl and then run just to go MIA. Yes, we obviously get excited because the expectations are always high. I'm sorry. Again, this is no jab, but for Raider fans, I know you guys don't really get excited past week 6 because obviously we kind of know what the season's gonna look like. So um, yeah, I guess we're spoiled and you guys are not, and your expectations end at week 6. For us, it's always a shot every year. So there's that to answer that question. Um, Injuries, Joel. Yeah, go ahead, Hearn. Go ahead.
I just want to like clarify that. And I'm not saying you in specific, but I've heard in the past couple years, like, oh, like, us Niner fans, we've had it tough. Like, can you, for the record, say that you actually haven't had it tough compared to a Raider fan?
Yeah, I don't. No, we haven't had it tough. I think spoiled is more because I think you said it before too. Is we're more spoiled than having it tough. I would say the only tough years we had are like spotty between like maybe a year or two, and
Kyle's
that was
first,
like the
right?
2015 to
Like Kyle's first year, and then
yeah,
Chip
Kyle's
Kelly and Tom
first.
Sula,
Kyle,
like those 3 years.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
that's yeah, and then once he got it right, we got it right. Um, Again, Matt said or Joel said something about injuries. Um, I don't think I ever mentioned anything about injuries as far as what the Niners were going through. I think it was kind of obvious. Um, so I think if anything, I'm more surprised how far we got with the injuries that we had. Again, I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm just saying we did quite a bit. So there's no excuse for the Ravens uh, not to go to the playoffs or go any further than they did. So again, there's that. Uh, Matt says something about at least Raider fans, by week 8. I think it's more about around week 6, you kind of know, or even 5, if we're being honest. Uh, uh, so, and then this is what Joel said, honest reaction to, I did. So that's when I responded saying that I won't respond until the 44 pod. Joel said, uh, it was a weak response, loves to talk about other people's QBs, but folds up like a cheap suit when his QB goes down. Love you, whatever. Uh, I didn't really understand the text because it wasn't like a jab towards anybody. It was more of like, hey, let me just respond on the 44 pod. So everyone can hear my opinion at one time, not a text message and me coming on here maybe saying something different or whatever. So again, Joel, this is a podcast, so I talk about everybody's QB. And when it comes to my QB, I obviously am pretty open about everything that he goes on. So if you watch the pod, which you probably don't, which is only okay because I think you only watch the clips, you would probably understand what I say. So there's that, nothing more than that. And then Hearn, I mean not Hearn, Matt. Matt's just a funny guy. He just loves to troll. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So that's my responses to them. Sorry guys, I kind of went on a little tangent, but I definitely needed to respond to all those guys because they're gonna be like, hey, you never said whatever. But yeah, those are all my responses to them. Um, yeah, let's keep it going.
I was like, yeah, can we actually get
What's
into
up,
the
her?
game now?
Talk to me.
No, I was just saying, can we get into the
Yeah,
actual
what's
game now?
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
100%.
let's. I
Yeah,
mean, let's just roll into the Niner game. Obviously, it was belt to ass. And I'll be honest with you, like,
100%.
I'm, you know, you're my brother, and I'm not gonna come out and be like, yeah, I'm rooting for the Niners, but I actually wanted, like, I was like, man, it'd be kind of cool, to, like, just see them get to the championship game for the NFC, and then we can kind of roll into there, and then kickoff happened, and I was
Yeah,
like, yes, they're fucking cooked. Told my sister that immediately. I said, you guys are cooked. This is
yeah,
just like
100%.
at Levi. First play of the game, you guys got fucked. Like it's over. It's done. You had a good year, and of course, I get told like, you're just trolling. Like you're salty Raider fan. I'm like, all right, like, fuck, maybe she's right. And then yeah, I mean, the rest of the game kind of rolled on. Like the Niners just couldn't move the ball offensively, and I think it really more has to do with like personnel. A lot of people are talking about like, oh, like they're talking about like, oh, CMC couldn't get going and like all these other things, and like everyone kind of refers to the injuries, which like I told Rigo, and I think I mentioned it on the pod, like everyone was doubting the Niners because Kittle got hurt. Like you guys won games without him, so that really wasn't like to me a big factor. Obviously with the leadership stuff, maybe, but Fred was there. Like Fred was there on the sideline. Like he's there. That's his job, right? Like he didn't play, but he can get the boys going for sure, even if he's not suited up with the boys. It just kind of was very obvious, like, and your boy Grant Cohn, he mentions it all the time. He says like the Niners look old and slow on offense, and it's true, they really do. Like, um, there's just nobody truly explosive on the offensive side, and I've seen some people talk about the offensive line. I think considering what they're spending over there, they have arguably the best tackle in football, and the guy's almost 40. I think the offensive line's pretty decent. Purdy's not Purdy's never going to be a top five guy. So to me, like, I'm never going to be like, man, he's got to carry the boys. That's just not his thing. Like, that's just not going to be his role. I think as long as you have average to above average players, he's going to look really good. And when you just have CMC, it is what it is. And then, like, defensively, it's just, I mean, they were just on the field all night. So that didn't really help either. Um, but shout out Eddie De Niro. That boy, man, you guys need to give him a fucking 10-year contract
Panero.
ASAP.
Panero.
Fucking Rocky 911, because that dude's
Yeah.
probably your best kicker since Robbie Gold. So, like, yeah, he needs to get
Yeah,
locked up
100%.
quick. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna really get like it is what it is. Like, there's not really much like breaking down of the game we can really do because, like I said, it's belt to ass. Like, we kind of knew that there was a chance this could happen, and unfortunately, it did for you guys. And kind of leaves a sour taste in everyone's mouth. But considering the season you guys had, the injuries you had, and I think you were pretty big on this. Like when we were talking separately, like you guys got a lot further than anyone ever thought. So kind of one of those things where I know it sucks to lose, but you're gonna kind of go into next year like, hey, like we got something here. We just need to kind of reload a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, my honest reaction to like to the end of the game or just the whole reaction to the game anyways, like the first obviously like right off the bat, like the Seahawks were up 7-0 and I'm like, damn, it's not the start that you want because obviously you want to ease into the game and really set the tone. But again, the Seattle was firing on all cylinders, like all three phases. Um, and yeah, they were just whooping the Niners' ass. Like Niners were getting their ass whooped on defense. And the crazy thing was too, like on defense. So okay, before I really get into it, if we're really thinking about it, well, the way I thought about it, right, is the Seattle Seahawks were just a younger version of what the Niners were. And what I mean by that is like if you look at them like defensively and offensively, they Sam Darnold was playing like Brock Purdy's, oh, or not the Brock Purdy. I don't want to compare him to, but they were playing like the Niners offense because the offensive coordinator came from the Niners, Clint Kubiak's brother, or whatever, or they're both fucking Kubiak, whatever. They're the way they were playing was like the Niners offense, but what I would say is that the way they were executing and everything that they had was just a younger, better, and faster version of what the Niners offense would look like if they were playing each other. Because if you look at it, Sam Darnold wasn't driving the ball. Seattle was running the ball very well. and like it was almost unstoppable for the Niners to fucking stop it. Like you just, it was an out, it was like a fucking toss pass, whatever the fuck. Motherfucker was getting 9, 10 yards every fucking time. And if we look back 2 years ago or a year ago, that's what the Niners are doing. And if you're looking at quick slants or whatever, that's literally what the Niners are doing. Again, I'm not saying like they're exactly the same, but for me watching it, I'm like, holy shit, I'm just watching the Niners offense play at a higher level with faster guys and better guys. Um, so for me, that's what I was just kind of like looking at. For defensively for the Niners, obviously, um, these guys just couldn't keep up. But I feel like they weren't like so far behind. They were just like giving up like a lot of plays. Like when it came to almost third down, the three and outs or whatever. They again, Darnold just toss it, just throw a quick slant down the middle to Cooper Cup or whatever. And it was a first down. And it was just repetitive on offense of what they were doing. And the Niners just couldn't stop it. And ultimately, again, that's why they kept scoring. Offensively for the Niners, um, dude, their guys just couldn't get separation. Um, and that's why fucking Brock Purdy was running for like 400 something yards at the end of the game. Uh, these guys, obviously, the wide receivers are like on their fourth or fifth, sixth stringers, whatever. Kyle Shanahan's trying to do whatever the fuck he has to try to score some points. Um, just couldn't. Obviously, it was just a fucking shit show of play and yeah, man. So like if I had to put my I think Trent Williams said it best. As me, like I wasn't upset about the loss at all. Like people, that's what everybody, Joel and all the other guys are expecting me to be like, oh shit, like so upset about it, or whatever. I actually really wasn't. I wasn't upset about it at all. I really was like, damn, I'm surprised we even made it this far. Beating the Eagles was like a big accomplishment for the team, and I think that was like I was like, oh shit, like we actually beat them. Now we're in the fucking second round of the playoffs, and let's see what we can do. I hoping the Niners to win, obviously, but I think being more realistic, um, I it wasn't really like after the first half, I was like, yeah, we're definitely not going to win this game. But dad, I believe that Niners could, 100%. If they were playing if they would actually score an offense, I did believe the Niners could win. But at the end of the day, obviously they didn't. But the Niners were playing with house money. When you make it that far with the amount of injuries that they accumulated throughout the season, the Niners were just playing with house money. Like, let's just see how far we can take it. Surprised they even made it this far. I didn't even think they were going to make it to the playoffs, let alone go to the second round of the playoffs. So that was really cool to see. But yeah, man. I mean, just ready for next season and fucking get some better guys, get healthy, hit on some draft picks, hopefully. Because the Niners desperately need to get younger and really hit on draft picks. I think that's the biggest issue for them. And hopefully move away from that electrical area that everyone's saying in the Bay is being like, hey man, this is the root of all evil, and this problem is because we're too close to electrical shit, which I think is funny. But yeah, man, next season, we'll see what we can do. Draft a running back. Just get healthier and draft some guys that can stay healthy. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the game. Um, if we're talking Seattle now, actually no, let's keep talking about the other
I'll
games.
say,
But
I'll say, yeah, we
go.
could just keep
Let's talk
going to.
about
I'll
the
say we could just go to the other games. Yeah,
yeah. Let's talk about
Houston
the Bills.
or Bills. Yeah, let's do it.
Houston. Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's talk about the Bills first. Because
Yeah,
again, I think I kind of said it, and we also definitely called it. It's so funny because me and Hearn, if you guys, all our followers that have actually been listening to us, you know that we've been pretty spot on about all these guys getting fired and what these games meant for these organizations. Um, Josh Allen, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just, you know how what I said last week. I'm more of like, dude, like Sean Derman, whatever the fuck his name is. Glad he got fired. He'll find a spot somewhere and whatever. But dude, Josh Allen, man. I mean, was I surprised that he lost this game? Absolutely not. I'm not surprised. I had a feeling that this was gonna happen. He definitely had a chance if was it Doxson Knox, his tight end? If he would have caught that ball,
He
it
had
was GG's. The
he
the Bills were gonna
Josh
win
Allen.
this game.
Yeah, the it ended up being the field goal that they ended up tying it to go to overtime. I really think like a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, poor Josh Allen." You know, and it's like to me, like he had plenty of opportunity to win the game for them before even going into overtime. Um, I think he turned over the ball like 4 times. No, like the play before the end of the half.
Something
Like
like that.
there's all kinds of stuff that he did that cost them in my mind. And I think with the head coach, it's really just an unfortunate kind of series of events. To be honest, like I don't think he deserved to be fired in the sense of what he was putting on the field. Like he had his moments in previous seasons where it's like, bro, what are you doing? Like he like have no grasp of the situation at hand. But to me, like this game, I just don't see like how you could fire him. Obviously, it was one of those things to me that they just felt like, man, this is the year and we didn't get it done. Someone's got to pay the price, and that's what happened. They fired him. Um, and obviously, everyone talks about the two call the ref the. So sorry, guys. Everyone talks about the catch and like, oh, was it a pick? Was it not? At the end of the day, your big time players got to make big time plays, and unfortunately, it didn't happen for Josh. And he's got a beautiful wife at home, and he's got a baby coming on the way. So I think he'll live, and he's going to be a
Yeah.
billionaire probably by the
He
end of
was
his
in
career.
Cancun the next day.
Yeah. So I mean, I think he's going to be okay. So just like you said, really unfortunate. And then like on the
Yeah, that
flip side,
game.
we with the Broncos, I mean, what a kick in the dick. Like you just won this hard fought game. Like you really almost pissed it away, and the third to last play, your quarterback gets hurt. Brutal stretch, and not only is he hurt, but he's done. Like he's done for the year. He has that fractured ankle. Um, fucking really tough. Like if I was a Broncos fan, like it's almost like the writing's on the wall. I will say, Jarrett Stidham, he's a good backup. He gave the Niners a run for their money a couple years ago. Um, and I
Yep.
think like I,
Yep.
I kind of believe in him. So I think there is something about this Broncos team. Like I think I've mentioned it multiple times on the pod. Talked about 2026, like, and obviously now it's a trend on TikTok. Like, just feels like 2016 all over again. And this is exactly, I mean, a little bit different circumstance with the Broncos, but they kind of were dealing with the same issues. They had Peyton Manning, but he was obviously a step behind. And they had this young guy, Osweiler, and
Mm-hmm.
they just kept going back and forth with their quarterbacks to see who was hot. And kind of feels like that now. Like they had this young guy, he was slinging it, he's hurt, and now they got to go to a veteran and who's never started or hasn't started a playoff game ever. And I think this is like his fifth or sixth start ever. So I mean, he's going to be in a tough spot, but he's at home, and obviously he's got the team around him
Yeah.
that he's not like a Brock Purdy situation where he's fucked. He's got some talent around him. He's got some guys. So I think this, and we'll talk about the other team playing him, but yeah, kind of just a tough situation. Like lose your quarterback basically on the last play of the game. Fucking brutal. Shout out Ovio.
Yeah. Yeah. That game was. Yeah, man. That guy's. Yeah. Um.
Tough.
Yeah. That game it was a tough loss for the Broncos. Bo Nix was fighting his heart out there, and it's kind of crazy, man. You got a young guy, going up against obviously an MVP sort of caliber quarterback, a really good team. To shit on him, and go out there and win the game for his team, and then unfortunately, broken ankle. I think what it was. I think it was on that final drive or what or snap or some shit like that. That sucks, man. I'd hate I so one thing I do, like I said, I think me and you both preach it. Like obviously we might hate teams, we might dislike players and we not might not want them to win, but we don't ever want for these guys to ever get hurt, let alone play teams when they're least vulnerable, like with all their players hurt. So you want to play a team at the best. So you can say like, hey man, I'm the best team, not some hey, I just fucking you know what I mean? So yeah, so the Patriots obviously I feel like they're kind of celebrating right now in the sense like, yo, like it's an easy walk into the Super Bowl at this point. But like you said, man, these Broncos, man, they're just not gonna lay down and be like, "Hey, dude, like fuck it, our season's over and let's not try anymore." I think they're the number one defense in the NFL, right? Or is that the Texans?
I would say the Texans probably are, but I mean they're easily top three. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think, and
And there's a reason for that, right? I mean,
yeah,
he's go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm good.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why this defense is high up there, like you said, top three. I think I want to say there were two. I don't know, but whatever, right? They're up there for a reason, man. These guys are fucking. They get after it. They hit fucking hard. They take the ball away. Um, and I don't think they're gonna just roll over, and they're definitely gonna give the Patriots a run for their money. I think it's gonna be a lot closer game than what people think. And like you said, Garrett Stidham, uh, gave the Niners a run for their money about 2 years ago. When the Niners, I think, were going to the playoffs. And he can sling the ball. As long as he makes the plays that he needs to put his team into position to win the game. It's hard for me to see them not win, and it would be very crazy for the Broncos to actually beat the Patriots and go to the Super Bowl. I would love for the Broncos to go whoop the Patriots ass, to be honest with you. Uh, but we'll see. Shout out to OVO, man. I hope his team goes out there and fucking gets the job done this weekend and take it to the promised land. But yeah, let's talk about these Texans, man. Dude, hey, like I said last week, this motherfucker's peaked. He's been chasing that for the longest time, and he just can't get it done. He uh he just can't reach to what he was. And it's obviously it shows. I'm not the only one saying this. Um, and I think either and like it's like I'm trying to find like an excuse, I guess, to be like, hey, like, is it his wide receivers? Is somebody on offense? Is it the coaching or something? Um, but nah, man, it's just CJ Stroud himself. I don't know what it is. He just can't get it done. I don't see them like when you have the number one defense, like you should go all the way, right? I think anybody has the number one defense, you should go really far. Um, Besides the Cleveland Browns, all right? Besides the Cleveland Browns, I'm not gonna say anything crazy, right? But it's kind of hard not like all you gotta do is not turn the fucking ball over and just either you run the motherfucker, you just throw some slants, convert first downs, and just don't give the ball to the other team. And you win the game. CJ Stroud, for some reasons, like Josh Allen, man, they're just giving it away, man. And got their fucking ass beat. And honestly, I don't really got much more to say besides that. So, Hearn, if you got anything to say, man, go ahead.
Yeah, obviously, like this is my Super Bowl team. I thought the defense was that good that this is like a 2001 Ravens kind of situation. Like the defense would win the championship essentially. And I'm not gonna really. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
CJ's. If you look at the stat box, he played like shit. But I'll be devil's advocate here. He played in some shit weather, and obviously everyone's gonna be like, "Well, so did Drake May." Yeah, well, that's not the point. Um, CJ's obviously showed that. I mean, even CJ's time at Ohio State, like if the weather wasn't ideal, like he just didn't play his best ball. And that offensive line that they
It's
have
like
is
Tua.
just, yeah, basically. The offensive line they have is complete garbage. It's ass. They traded away two of their best offensive linemen before the season started, so this is kind of where like some of these decisions that teams make. This is where it kind of haunts you. The proof was in the pudding, and then obviously you're dealing with rookie receivers. Their best receiver was out. Like they had some injuries, obviously, and just kind of you're putting young guys in tough situations that they've never been in before. So just you're asking a lot
Yeah.
of guys that just haven't been asked a lot of all year. Um, so yeah, tough stretch. I think it's kind of just says more about the Texans than the Patriots because the score was a lot closer. Like if you take away CJ's turnovers, we could be talking like the Texans barely beat them or the Patriots barely beat them. I mean, they had two. I think they had a fumble return touchdown and a pick six. So you take those two touchdowns away, it kind of closes the gap a lot between the two teams. And I think the Patriots, like, and I said it, I think on the last pod, like, the reason why I didn't really think the Patriots would go very far is I just think they're a young team. Like, I think you mentioned it, like, they're just like the Commanders last year. They're just a year away. Like, it's just a year too soon, in my opinion. I know they have the coach for it and they have the defense for it in
Yeah.
terms of, like, they got the veterans over there. But I just think offensively they're just so young. And the only guy that sniffs success in the NFL on that side of the ball is really Stephon Diggs. Um, and the last time he was close, he was watching the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. So I don't think anyone on the offensive side of the ball, and I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive none of them have been to the Super Bowl in any recent years. So um, yeah, it's gonna be that championship game is gonna
Yeah.
be really interesting. I think because it's in Denver, I think you almost have to pick the Broncos. Um, but yeah, I'm kind of with you. I like the game itself. The Texans Patriots game itself was shit. I rarely watched it. Like I kind of saw the first half and I was like, yeah, they kind of cooked. But I was just like, yeah, the score's kind of close enough. Like it could be okay. And then yeah, it kind of blew open the whole second half. So I didn't really watch the rest of it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, man. Let's get into let's just kind of breeze over this Rams and Bears game. Because I think at the end of the point, I think this are two really good teams that it really just came down to the wire. And what I mean by that is like I think Caleb Williams really put the team on his back on that last final drive to tie it up and go to overtime. I think no, everybody was thinking like, "There's no way this guy's about to get it." But again, he's been doing it all year. Converted, they scored, sent it to overtime, and then I think they had plenty of opportunities to win that game in overtime. Um, but mistakes and the Rams, I think, barely breezed by. I wouldn't say breezed. I think the Rams barely are hanging on to dear life in beating these teams. Um, okay. Yeah, so it was a hell of a game, I guess, but it just kind of is gonna pivot for me into the NFC Championship game between the Rams and Seattle. But before that, do you have any comments about the game? 'Cause again, I don't really have much besides them barely winning and Caleb and doing what he was doing all year.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb's gonna Caleb. If you're gonna live by him, throwing the deep ball, making shit happen, you gotta live when he makes those mistakes, and that's kind of what it was. Like it was a guy that at the end of the fourth quarter, he almost got sacked. He fucking did a little ballerina spin, chucked the ball up for dear life, and the guy's wide open. He catches it. It's a touchdown, and we're like, "Fuck, this guy's the best thing since sliced bread." And then he goes into overtime, and he just makes a stupid throw. And like I heard on the commentary too, like they were talking about DJ Moore, like, oh, I think it was Troy Aikman. He's like, oh, he kind of jogged it. It's like even if he didn't jog it, like I don't think even if to me, even if DJ Moore is sprinting, he threw into double coverage. Like you gotta, I don't know. I just feel like in these kind of games, like you can't afford to take too many risks, especially when the weather's not ideal because it's gonna bite you in the ass. And obviously it did them. And yeah, let's get right into the NFC title game. Obviously, it's a rematch to probably one of the best games of the year, I would say. When the Seahawks and Rams played, I think it was
Yeah.
Thursday night football in overtime. And like I said, it was one of the best games of the season. I think there's going to be a lot of hype about them doing that again. Me personally, I'd be really surprised if it goes that way again. Personally, I think it's going to be a little bit tighter. These teams, it's really hard to play a team three times and be surprised. So I could see some trickery going on either side, some trick plays, kind of get into their bags. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I'm kind of with Rigo. I think the Rams kind of blew their load, like in the sense that they're on the older side and they can't really get into too many of these close games because eventually they're going to be kind of beat up, and that's kind of where I feel like they're at. Um, but yeah, yeah. I mean, there's really nothing else to say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree, man. If we're looking at, so my honest opinion, between the Seattle Seahawks and the Rams, like two teams, obviously I dislike very much. And I would rather have the Bears in that game so I can have a team to root for. But again, I don't like these teams. It's hard for me to even be like, hey, I want this team to win or whatever, because I don't want any of them to win. So obviously, I'm rooting for anybody in the AFC. But if we're being completely honest, or I'm being completely honest, the Rams are just they're a year too late. I mean, I think they're betting on Matthew Stafford to be that guy. And again, when you barely scrape by the Bears team when you pretty much said it the best. Fucking Caleb Williams just throwing the ball like anywhere. He's scrambling for his life, and you know, I just think the Rams are just not there yet. And I don't think they'll I think they need to get a different quarterback. And what I mean by that is that when you go against a really good team like Seattle, offensively and defensively, I just think they're gonna get ate up. Um, because I think their offense struggles. I mean, look at you put some pressure on Matthew Stafford, and you can get to him and you can sack him. So I think as long as the Seattle Seahawks do that, because their defensive line is pretty good, um, you'll be fine. And that's why I think Seattle's going to win that game. Just because I think the time for Rams is pretty much over, as far as them being in the Super Bowl window to go and win it. Because I think everybody knows this is Stafford's last year. Um, and got to go out and get a quarterback or somebody for the future. So I got Seattle winning that game, and yeah, not much more to say after that.
Yeah. And then obviously we got on the other side. We kind of briefly mentioned it, like Broncos Patriots. I think, you know what, for OVO's sake, and I know I'm a Raider fan, I shouldn't be rooting for him, but for OVO's sake, I'm gonna go with the Broncos, man. I think, like I said, I think it's just something about this team, and obviously I just also mentioned, like, I just think it's a year too early for the Patriots. They're almost there. Um, I just think, yeah, it's just a year too early. Um, and yeah, I really don't want to see the Patriots back in the Super Bowl because I mean, we can't, as the AFC, as a conference, we can't have just the Chiefs and Patriots represent us for the last fucking however many years out of 15. Like, I think
Yeah,
it's like 13 out of
yeah,
15 years. That's insane. Like, we gotta stop the curse at some point. So I'm going for the Broncos. What says you?
yeah. Me too.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I got the Broncos. It would be
So
really
basically,
funny for the Broncos to
so Broncos Seahawks essentially is because I agree with you as well with the Seahawks Rams game. So Broncos Seahawks for both of us, right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And then
Uh
Matt's not gonna like that, by the way. He did like this bracket for money, and he's got I think he has the Patriots Rams or Patriots. I get he's like tied for first, and basically the NFC game's gonna decide who wins as long as the Patriots make it. So that'll
yeah.
be really interesting. So shout out to Mr. Google. But yeah, let's keep this thing rolling. What do we got next, big dog?
Yeah. Let's get into coaches of the year. Obviously we
Oof.
got the finalist was Mike Vrabel, McDonald, Kyle Shanahan, and who was the other guy? There's somebody I'm missing on here.
The guy from the
Just seen
Jags,
this
maybe?
shit. Yeah, it's Mike McDonald. Oh
Is there
yeah,
five?
Liam Cohen, whatever the fuck his name is.
Is there five of them or four?
Yeah, it was all five. That's all five.
Oh, okay.
It's five of them. Shanahan, Seattle, Mike Vrabel, Jags, and fuck, I really feel like I'm forgetting somebody then. Am I forgetting anybody?
Sean Payton? Broncos? Maybe?
Is that him? Yeah,
I don't know.
probably. Let me see. Let me double check.
My coach is never up for
Yeah,
this
I am
award, so
forgetting
I don't
somebody.
give a
Hold
shit.
on. Maybe, right? I know. I think it's just them four. To be honest with you. Um, if I'm
Well,
wrong, whatever.
obviously
In the
we know
comments,
which way
y'all can
you're.
correct me or whatever.
We obviously know who you think's coach of the year. So go ahead.
Yeah. Out of all the coaches that I believe that deserve it, again, you people are gonna be like, hey, you're biased because you're a Niner fan. Um, no, that's definitely not why I'm fucking choosing it, because I am a Niner fan. If I'm looking at the award, I'm looking at what the teams have done, with the players and the situations that they've been in. And I think Kyle Shanahan has coached his ass off this year, based off of all the injuries that he accumulated throughout the season. And again, when you play with house money, it's kind of crazy to go to the second round of the playoffs, and beat the defending Super Bowl champions, with like 95% of your roster hurt. Yeah, I think you kind of deserve Coach of the Year. again, it's all kind of biased or whatever. Because if you're gonna be like, oh well, then fucking you have to go to the Super Bowl and win it, or you got to do this. No, because I think this is gonna lead back to the other conversation that we had. Is like when Kyle Shanahan did what he did with Jimmy Garoppolo and everybody back in 2019 and stuff, he definitely didn't win Coach of the Year. There's quite a few times, right? So we could definitely go down that route if we wanted to, but I'm not. Um, but yeah, man, that's why I got winning Coach of the Year. Who do you have winning Coach of the Year?
I think the NFL knows where the Super Bowl's being taken place, and obviously they got to kind of take care of, obviously there's going to be some hometown fans, so it wouldn't surprise me if Kyle wins it. Obviously, they feel bad for the Niners because they didn't go very far after the second round. So I think if I had to say it, I'd say who I think it's going to be is probably Kyle. Um, who I would pick would be Mike McDonald because I think last year he finished in the division third. And obviously, like, there was signs of life, but we weren't really sure. And I think he's done a great job. Like, he had some. It's not like he had the same team, exact same team. He had a new quarterback this year. I thought this is, yeah, this is a first year for Clint Kubiak as the OC. So there was a lot of question marks going into the season of what kind of team this was going to be. And he's got a lot of young players over there playing really well. And it's kind of showed like his coaching ability, his development. Obviously, that stuff's looking really good. And I just kind of feel like this is one of the few awards where I think it's can't just be a regular season award. But I don't know. I could be in the minority, so I would pick Mike McDonald myself. Um, it wouldn't, like I said, I think it's like an 80% chance it's Kyle, and then I would say 20% it's going to be whoever the AFC representative is between Sean Payton or Mike Vrabel.
Oh shit, yeah, man.
Yeah,
I guess we'll have to see. Um, I hope it's Kyle. I think it's well overdue, but again, we'll see, right?
yeah,
Let's talk about coach vacancies. Again,
yeah. Let's
let's
do it.
not really get too much into it,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
because obviously there's some coaches. But yeah, let's start with the number one. Robert Saleh going to the Tennessee Titans. I think this is a team that I said I hope he didn't go to because I don't think there's much as far as like ownership, like letting
Yeah.
him do what he needs to do to win the game or get players and stuff like that. So I think um, I didn't like the pickup. Not because I'm a Niner fan or whatever, but I just think what Robert Shaw's what the type of person he is and personality and stuff like that, and like a guy, players coach, whatever. I think Tennessee wasn't the best fit. I liked him going to Atlanta. I think he was able to do a lot more there. There's a lot more developed players and stuff. But yeah, I didn't like it. Sucks, whatever. But I'm rooting for the guy. What'd you think about it?
I'm actually on the opposite side of this. I think earlier in the year, and I tried to look in the which pot it was, and I just gave up. But I mentioned this as a possibility, and I think we both kind of agreed that this wasn't really the best job for him in the sense that it was very similar to the Jets job he took. Um, but I'm starting to think that he maybe thought that if he didn't take a job this offseason, he might not get another one in any, I'd say within the next 2 to 3 years. Because essentially, I think what would happen is if he stayed, I think the expectation of the Niners would almost be it'd be against him in the sense like let's say they reload next year, he's still on the team and they don't go to the Super Bowl because that's the Niners' expectation, right? Is to get to the championship, get to the Super Bowl. If they don't do that or they go to the Super Bowl
Hmm.
and lose again, I could see a situation like we saw with the Bills and the Ravens and the Steelers of like, dude, we can't keep running back 10 years and you're not getting the job done. I could see that happening, and then he obviously would become um, what's it called? He'd be God, what's the word? This is gonna kill me. He'd be fuck. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
but
man.
But yeah, he'd be like
Right.
innocent bystander is what I'm trying to get at. Like he would just, you know what I mean? Like they would blame him, or he could, if Kyle gets fired, then obviously they'd fire everybody. And so I kind of feel like that's kind of what played into the decision. Um, but I think he's got a lot of good pieces in on defense over there. It's going to be the offensive side of the ball. It's going to be really interesting. I was really hoping Mike McDonald would join
Yeah.
him there, or Mike McDaniel would join him there. And obviously he's going to the Chargers, and we can get to some of the other jobs that kind of filled up. But um, yeah, I like it for Salah. I think it'll fit him. I think he's a really good coach. The pieces he has on defense, I think they're not as good as what he had with the Jets, but they got high enough picks that he can kind of retool pretty quick. And if he gets that defense playing like he did with the Niners, man, they just need Cam Ward to be average, and they're going to win a lot of football games there. So I think that's kind of a fun team for him.
Yeah.
And he's not in Vegas, so that's a good thing too.
Facts. Yeah, you're more optimistic, definitely more than I am. The New York Giants picked up John Harbaugh. I think a lot of these Giant fans are like overly excited for a guy that couldn't win with an MVP caliber quarterback
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So I mean, what more can you expect from a guy that's still kind of unproven in Jackson Dart, starting all over again? So it's kind of crazy. I mean, I just think it's an
yeah,
overreaction for Giants fans and anybody in the NFL that thinks this is like the best new coming of a team. So yeah, I mean, I don't got much more to say to that than what I said.
yeah.
But what do you
It's
think?
already. I was gonna say for that job specifically, and I think we already kind of like nailed that one. I think it was kind of obvious what they were gonna do there. Um, I just think it's already kind of off to a weird start. It's pretty obvious that the GM there didn't want this guy there, and it's pretty obvious that John Harbaugh's kind of put stuff in his contract that basically says like he's in charge. So I think this it's just gonna be it's kind of
Hmm.
similar to the Gruden dynamic when Gruden came back. We kept the GM we had, and it was just kind of this awkward first year. And then at the end of the first year, they fired the GM. Probably what's gonna happen here. Um, yeah, I think on piece of paper it looks really good. And that's really all we have to go off of it. But I'm really curious to see who's his coordinators that he brings in. Um, yeah, that one's gonna be one to watch because I think a lot of people are gonna be expecting the Patriots Mike Vrabel turnaround, and I'm not too sure that's gonna happen in that division.
Yeah. All right. Um, Kevin
It's
Stefanski going to Atlanta Falcons. I think
kind of feels safe.
I don't like
Like,
Kevin Stefanski. I don't like him at all. Um, yeah, I
yeah,
just think
clearly,
they're like, hey, let's just get somebody that maybe can win us some games. But yeah, the shit was a weak ass hire, but whatever.
yeah.
Um,
It kind of feels like one of those
you got
ones
any more
where,
than to say on that?
yeah, I was just gonna say, it kind of feels like one of those ones where they number one, I thought Raheem Morris didn't deserve to be fired, and obviously he did. Um, and it kind of just feels like they wanted an offensive guy, and they're like, man, who? I think it was more. I think also too is like I think ownership kind of was like, dude, like I think Stefanski's a great coach. Like, look what he did when he took Baker to the playoffs, and I think like you know, say what you will about that team. I thought that team was pretty loaded at the time, and maybe that's what he thinks. He has a loaded roster, and he just needed the right coach for it. That's done it before, and maybe that's what he's going for. Not super big
Yeah,
on this hire either. It's one of those ones like John Harbaugh. Looks really good on paper. Um, Stefanski was viewed as like one of the safer choices. Um, and we'll see. I mean, he's got Kirk Cousins, which
yeah,
bodes well for him. Um, and obviously, we'll see what happens with Penix. But yeah, really interesting one there too.
yeah.
Your Dolphins, they hired Jeff Hafley, the DC from the Packers. Any thoughts on that one? Probably not.
Um, I mean,
There you go. There's his thoughts. Like
eh,
basically, like,
it's not. I just think these teams are just kind of picking people because I think they're overreaching for coaches. I think honestly in my best opinion, um, I think teams that are in desperate need of a good coach and a coach that like can turn like they 100 like have done it before, and I mean by like, hey, like they've been coaching their ass off or whatever. I think all these teams need to go after an offensive coordinator. I think picking a defensive coordinator when your team is in desperate need of a turnaround and getting after it, um I don't think it's the right answer. And people are gonna be like, hey, well, like Mike McDonald came from the Baltimore Ravens as a DC, and he's doing what he's doing or whatever, right? um
There's not a
but
lot
I
of Mike
think I
McDonald's
think
out
it all
here.
comes down to scenario, but exactly, and that's what I mean by that. It's like, dude, you have time, to really invest in an offensive coordinator that are doing pretty well. Like, obviously, Clint Kubiak is gonna get looked at for a head coaching job. Same thing as the other Kubiak on the Niners team, offensive coordinator. Like, you got all these guys that have proven themselves, right? Like, are doing fucking phenomenal, I think. And you go after a DC that has, I wouldn't say nothing to do about the offense, or like doesn't know anything about offense, but it's like, why go for a defensive coordinator when there's offensive coordinators that you can easily go get? You know what I mean? And I just think teams that do that, I think they make mistakes, because I think they're looking at what Mike Madonna is doing, and it's like, oh yeah, we can do that. We can find the same guy. Um, I don't think you can. Same thing with Robert Saleh. But obviously he was a head coach. His situation was different, I guess.
Way
But
different.
um, we'll see. I mean, I guess we'll all see. I had wanted this team to go out after an offensive coordinator. I think every team needs to, but that's just my opinion. But they did what they did, and they got who they got. So it might work, it might not work, but we'll find out.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I think they were obviously a team that wanted John Harbaugh. I don't think that could be any more obvious. I think because obviously when he got fired, they immediately canned Mike McDaniel. So obviously if he wasn't on the market, they probably would have just been cool running it back one more season. I think that kind of spooked him a little bit, and obviously they lost out on that. And this kind of felt like not a safe hire because of the pedigree of the coach himself, but it kind of felt like a safe hire because the GM they just hired came from Green Bay, and so it kind of just feels like, hey, like I really like this guy. Like I think he might be a great head coach at the NFL level. He was a head coach in Boston College for 2 3 years. Came from the Niners, so obviously like he's been around some successful programs in the NFL. Um, and I obviously he thinks he can just kind of replicate a South Beach Green Bay team. We'll see. I think you're right. I think they should have went offense because obviously they're going to be stuck with Tua at least a year, and then they're going to get a quarterback. And unless this guy has a bunch of great offensive guys that he knows, it's going to be really tough for them. Another one that just got filled up
Yeah.
probably, I want to say about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock today, maybe a little bit later, was the Ravens. They finally hired their head coach of the future. It's going to be Jesse Minter, the DC from the Chargers, who formerly was with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. And then obviously the last 2 seasons he's been in LA as the Chargers DC. He was a guy I thought between him and Chris Shula from the Rams, I thought those are the two can't miss defensive guys that haven't been head coaches that are on the younger side. Um, I mean, doesn't really surprise me. This kind of fits what the Ravens do, what they're kind of about. Like they wanted a younger guy, just like the Steelers are going to obviously want at some point with their coaching search. Like they wanted a young defensive guy that's kind of embodies what they're all about. So, and that's kind of where it's an obvious fit for them. So, not too much thoughts on that one. This is the guy Joel wanted. So, shout out Joel. He got what he wanted for the most part. He mentioned it earlier. He thought he was pretty happy about it. He's pretty curious about what they're going to do offensively because obviously this whole team's around Lamar. So if you can't figure out the Lamar situation, you're going to be shit canned pretty quick. So I think that's kind of the biggest question mark for him.
Yeah.
Is there any other jobs? I think that's it,
Agree.
right? Titans,
But
Dolphins,
yeah.
Giants. That's really it. And then obviously Mike McDaniel, he's going to
Yeah,
be the
they're
OC
all
for the
taking off.
Chargers. Um, that'll be a really interesting fit because a lot of people are talking about, Mike McDaniel, Dolphins have been soft, which I think is kind of a stupid argument because Jim Harbaugh's kind of like, at the end of the day, he's the head coach. He's the guy. It's his program. So I think as long as they can get along with each other, it should be a good match. But we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah. Again, we'll have more for the next pod. Hopefully by Monday do another one. But yeah, man. Is there any final thoughts you got about the anything else you might want to say or something?
Uh, Actually, yeah, we got UFC this weekend, 324. One of the co-main with Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes obviously got canceled, which is very unfortunate. But I guess my question to you is, who do you got, Gaethje or Pimblett or Patty the Batty?
Patty the Batty, baby. Come on now, Patty the Batty all the way.
Sounds fair enough. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Uh, yeah, man. I do got one thing. I'm jumping tomorrow, so if you guys don't see me next week, it's either probably because I hurt myself or something. But yeah, pray for me and a
Love
good
it.
jump tomorrow. So
Yeah.
yeah. But
It's supposed to
other
be
than
blue
that,
skies, no clouds, baby. Let's
thank
get it.
you and yeah, hopefully, man. But thank you to everybody that listens and watches our podcast and supports us. Um, Hey, we support you. We love you guys and everything that you do. And shout out to Hearn again for doing all the edits. I know that takes some time because there's definitely quite a bit of them. So hey, the intros you're killing it, Hearn. Keep that shit up, big dog. We love it. I love to see it. So yeah, man.
Actually,
With
I
no
do want
further
to add
ado, again,
out
appreciate you
real quick.
guys.
I do want to add real quick before you sign off. Real quick, if you watched to this point in the pod, I think I'm going to add a little story time to the end. Now, I'm pretty sure we don't have the ending to this story, so in order for you to get part 2 of this story, you're going to have to subscribe, you're going to have to like the video, you're going to have to follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Um, and yeah, you'll get the part 2. If this doesn't happen, if you don't give the likes, you don't subscribe, you're not going to get it. So, you're going to have to figure out what happened in the story, but yeah, thank you guys for supporting as always, and obviously shout out to Rigo. This guy like will pretty much like if he's got any free time, he'll shoot me some ideas about like what we could talk about. Um, because when I get here, I'm like, hey, let's just fucking start hitting record and let's go. I don't bring anything on that point. So shout out to the big guy over here, fucking holding it down, using that fucking brain of his. But yeah,
Yeah.
we love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Even if it's for 10 minutes, it's all good. Like as long as you guys are clicking on it, and getting some type of entertainment out of it.
Yeah.
That's all we can really ask for.
Yeah, man. Couldn't have said any better myself. Again, Hearn, I appreciate you and everybody that takes the time to listen to our podcast. But yeah, that's your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and my co-host, Mr.
Yeah.
Hernia, aka Course Hearn. Um, 44 pod, baby. We signing off. Peace out, everybody.
Oh, hope.
All right, welcome back, everybody, with another episode on the 44 pod with your host, Mr. Hollywood himself, and my co-host, Mr. Hernia, aka Corey Hearn, and Bigfoot himself. You know what I'm saying? We out here holding it down. Again, like I
Yeet.
said, try to crank these episodes out every week. Um, but we do have a special guest coming on here, like I promised last episode. So hopefully he makes it on time and doesn't make me a liar and is able to come on. But Aaron, how we doing, baby?
Pretty good. You know, had a low key day. You know, didn't really do much, which is nice. You know, I got school coming back. School's gonna be kicking off. Just got through first week of football, and I mean, shit. It's like, you know, I'm usually pretty busy, so this is nice to just kind of just chill.
That's good, man. That's good. Um, it's good, man. Fucking got a haircut today. Feeling
Mm,
fresh, feeling clean. You know what I'm
I like
saying?
that.
Check me out. Check me out. Did my barber kill it or what? I don't know. Y'all chat. Let me know. Let me know if the lineup is crispy enough.
It's like a 4.3,
But
but
what's that's fucked up. You know what I'm
bro,
saying?
it's
That's
not a
fucked
Uzi.
up, real shit.
It's not a Uzi. It's not a Uzi cut, bro. That's all I gotta say, dog. Like it's not Uzi, man. Uzi used to lace it up real nice.
Dude, yeah.
Shout out
Yeah,
Uzi.
that's my old barber right there back from the G Town. Yeah, man. It's been
Shout
a
out.
hot minute since I talked to him. Also, a person I wanted to give a big shout out to was Marshall.
Oh, shout out Marshall.
Obviously, nobody knows who Marshall is besides her. But the reason I'm giving him a shout out today is because I had got off the phone with him about like 20 minutes ago. Because we've been playing phone tag like every day. So he finally
I like that.
answered today,
Dub.
and we're just catching up for like 5 minutes or whatever. And he told me some really good news. So this motherfucker has been trying to get into the CHP Academy for like 10 years. For the past 10 years, he's been trying to get in. He gets really close, and for some reason, he's been getting kicked back. So for the past 10 years, he's been trying and trying. And a lot of times he almost gave up, right? But
Yeah,
thankfully, he finally got his shot to the CHP
I like
Academy.
that. Yeah, shout out
About a
Marshall.
month ago, he got accepted. Yeah, so he goes to the academy on
Shout out.
April. So as long as this motherfucker doesn't quit or fucks up, he'll become a CHP
Hell
officer
yeah, good for him.
patrolling down these highway patrol. You know what I'm saying? And giving you motherfuckers tickets for speeding, trying to go to LA and shit. You know what I mean? On the 101 or
Yeah,
whatever, Highway 5.
yeah,
So yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to him, man. Fucking guy's been
yeah. Shout
working
out.
religiously. When we talk about dedication to something that you
That's
really want,
dedication, bro. 10 years,
man, he's
bro. 10 years.
one stubborn motherfucker.
10 years. You're getting kicked
Dude,
back.
when I met him,
Getting
that's all he would fucking talk about.
like 10 years getting kicked in the dick, and
Yeah.
then he's like, you know what? Like I'm gonna fuck it. Like you keep kicking me in the dick, I'm coming back, and fuck this motherfucker did it. And like for people that don't know, obviously no one really has seen Marshall before. I've only met Marshall probably like 5-6 times, and I've only seen him once like doing anything physical. This guy Rigo used to be big into Spartan races, so Rigo's like, "Yo, come with me to a Spartan race." So Marshall's like, "Yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it."
Yeah.
Rigo finishes. I think Rigo's like around
Yo,
3
that's
hours
so
or
funny that
so.
you say that. Look,
Yeah, look at
I
that.
got
There
the
you go.
coins
There's
to
the
back
proof
it
right
up,
there.
motherfuckers.
Rigo finishes.
Don't fuck with
Rigo
me, you know what I
finishes
mean?
his in like 3-ish hours. I don't know. I have the time somewhere, and so I'm chopping with Rigo, and Rigo's dad's there, and we're chopping it up, and he's like, "Bro, you can like go, like like I don't know when Marshall's gonna finish." I text Rigo like that night, I asked, and he's like, "Dude, Rigo or Marshall didn't finish like I think his time was like 5 hours or 6 hours, something like that." So. But Marshall's a dog though. Like that just kind of like speaks to his perseverance. Like anybody, you know, you're with someone and like your boy's gone. Like you could easily be like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm done. Like I'm gonna finish." Nah, he saw it all the way through. Might have taken him extra 2-3 hours compared to Rigo, but the motherfucker got the job done. Job's finished. So, shout out to Marshall.
Yeah, man. Like I said, he's a really good friend of mine. Awesome dude, great character. Fun fact, me and him like almost have the same birthday. He was born February 27th. I was born on the
Yep,
28th.
yep.
And I think those were one of kind of the first conversations we had each other when I met him. But again, hopefully I can get him on the podcast sometime next week, and he can talk all about it. This guy,
Yeah.
this guy's like, I think he's 31 now, 30 or 31, some shit like that.
Damn.
Great fucking dude. I can't wait to have him on here on the pod. This motherfucker's got stories, fucking stories for days.
I like
He's
that.
like a fucking yappadoodle.
Yeah, it's also
But
fair.
great dude.
Yeah, shout out. You
So
right
what's
over
the
there?
plans this week, Ernie? Come on,
You
talk
fucking
to me, big
choking over
dog.
there? You all right? You okay?
Yeah, dude. So
God damn,
yeah,
bro.
man. My wife made some pasta, dude. I was fucking smacking that shit, and it's kind of spicy.
That's tough.
Damn. Ugh.
Yeah, not really any plans. Like, I mean, it's like really like my last week before school starts. So, um, I got football. Football's a big deal right now. I'm kind of getting ready to get back into gear. And like this past week, we did a PR day or PR week. So we're just getting, everyone's like, their best or obviously their personal record. Um, so it's kind of just one of those things. And then now we're gonna actually get into the workout program and get those guys going. And I mean, we're trying to change it around, man. Like we got the culture, we got the boys. Like now it's just kind of time to execute and put it all together. So we're really excited about that. But yeah, I mean, my week's gonna be pretty much the same thing. Like you know, picking up Max from school, going to football. Just real simple, real low key, real simple kind of week.
Yeah, speaking about Max, you mentioned that something happened at school today with Max, so I'm very curious for what happened
um,
there. Come on, man, talk to me.
I can't get too into detail. But I just kind of just because he watched the pod, so I don't want him to get mad at me that I'm putting his business out there in the streets like that. But shout out to you, Max. I know you're
Shout out
watching.
to
Shout out to you.
Maxi
Hey,
Max.
Max. I know you haven't liked it. Like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment that you watched the video. Unless if it's 11 o'clock, you need to go to bed. Your bedtime's 10 o'clock, bro. You need to go to bed. Okay, just in case he
Yeah,
was
man, this
actually
motherfucker.
make sure. Um, no, so basically, so I'll keep it a buck. I slept in today. I usually don't sleep, and I'm usually up at like 8 o'clock, 7:30, like between 7:30, 8:30. That's usually when I get up. Today I slept in. I keep it a buck.
Yeah,
I didn't get up till about 10:30, and I had a bunch of like missed calls from this Gilray number, my mom, my dad, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. But I was like, yeah, just keep it pushing. Like, fuck it, like maybe I didn't think it was an emergency because there's literally one call from each, and that was it. So I didn't even think anything of it. I just figured they wanted to talk to me or whatever, and I just missed their call. So I just kind of moved on with my day. I got ready for the
yeah,
day. And then my mom texted me and she's like, oh, I had to pick up Rocky Balboa today. And for people that don't know, like she has a dog whose name's Rocky. So I thought she was referring to the dog. And then I kind of thought about it a little bit longer and I was like, Rocky
yeah,
Balboa, though? Like said the word Balboa. And then I was like, let me
yeah.
check. Let me check my boy's location. So I check his location and he's at home. I was like, this motherfucker got into a scrap. So I mean, I didn't want to. So I talked to him today. Like I took him to his workout today, and I just asked him. I was like, "Oh, what happened?" Basically, like he says, we'll call this kid call this kid Tyler. He says this kid Tyler like was picking on one of his friends and like called him something that we shouldn't be saying, right? And then slapped him in the face. And so Max kind of like pushed his friend aside because I guess this kid's like a lot bigger than the kid than his friend. So he pushes his friend out of the way and he tells him like, we ain't gonna take that this kind of disrespect, bro. Like you better, kind of chill. And I guess the kid like grabbed
Yeah,
Max's sweater, like grabbed him by his hoodie and tried to, throw a little swing on him. Max grabbed him back on the hoodie, threw him on his back, and then popped him 3 times in the face. And then that was it. So, and then, yeah, I mean, obviously the rest is, who cares about the rest of the details? But yeah, so basically Max just stood up for somebody. And yeah, just kind of leave it at that.
shout out to Max, man. That motherfucker's putting some work up against the bullies. Hey, Max, next time, bite his ear off. Mike Tyson shit. Fuck it. You're
Let's
gonna
not
whoop
do
his ass.
that.
You gotta whoop his
Let's
ass
not
until
do
he
that.
till he's asleep. So Max, I encourage you to go back up to that motherfucker, give him two black eyes, and then bite his ear off. Some Mike Tyson shit. Ah.
We already talked and like I just kind of speak like that's like what he did is exactly like what our dad like raised us to like how to act. Like we'll never be the ones to start it, but like if shit pops off or we feel like like someone's picking on someone that they shouldn't be picking on, like that's what's gonna happen. Um, so it's kind of a testament to my dad. So
Yeah.
shout out my dad too for instilling that in us. And but yeah, pretty crazy. And like Max is not
That's
by no
hilarious. That's
means
hilarious.
by no means is Max a good kid in the sense of um the way people view him at his school. Like he's always the first one to get blamed for anything. Like if they have a sub and someone like fucks around, everyone will instantly be like, "Oh, it's Max," So I'm not gonna say like he's this perfect kid or anything. Like he definitely gets in his fair share of trouble. But when it comes to shit like that, like he's pretty good about it. So, but yeah, pretty crazy. Who would have thought?
Dude, not me. Max, what? He's in eighth grade now?
Yeah, eighth grade, 14. Like he just turned 14. Like he's becoming a young man. So we gotta make sure he's on the up and up. He's at that point now where if he does, makes a mistake, it could, hurt him in the short term. So just kind of making sure like he understands how to make a good decision and stuff like that. But yeah, pretty wild.
That's that's facts, man. That's still hilarious. Fucking Max.
Rigo, you ever get in a fight that's like
Damn, I just
ever?
can't see him fighting.
I know. That's. I mean, he
At
didn't
school,
really fight
are we gonna
either. Like he
fight?
just popped the guy twice. Because
I guess it's more like a little scrap a doodle.
yeah. I was saying high school, you for sure. I mean, obviously, like football's different, but like besides football, like you never really like. I don't remember you getting into anyone like into it with anybody like that.
Nah, I mean, I think I was relatively just a good kid, man. Just fucking. When I say good kid, I mean like obviously like academic wise. Like I just
Yeah.
did what I had to do for school. Obviously, you just it's not that hard. You just do homework and take the test
Show
when you
up.
have to take tests and pass them or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, just show up basically. So school wasn't really hard. I actually enjoyed going to school. Like, oddly
Yeah.
enough, like I actually really like school. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun place to be, I guess, depending on what kind of person you are. But yeah, I think my freshman year of high school, it was a little different because I was coming in and my sister was already there. She was a sophomore and I was a freshman, and she already established like as far as like her friend group and the person that she was gonna be in high school. You know what I mean? Like every kid
Yeah.
is like, I gotta. You come from middle school and you go to high school, you're like, I gotta be there with the skaters or some shit like that, right? So my sister, she chose her group, and ultimately, like, because I was a younger one, she felt like she had to take care of me and stuff, which was cool. I didn't mind it too much. So I just hung out with her, but hanging out with her again, the group that she chose, um, wasn't the best representation of a good students or good people, I guess. And so by default, I look like I was just a hoodlum or a person that just caused trouble and shit. So um but if you knew me, like who I was and stuff, I was definitely not like that.
Yeah.
But it
For
was just, by default, because hanging out with them, it was bad. So my freshman year was a little rocky as far as like finding my friends. And then I think that Christmas break coming back, I kind of like separated myself because I was like, this is not the kind of person I want to be, especially in high school. Like I don't want to be anything associated with this uh group of people. So
yeah.
yeah, I found my own friends. That's I think this is when me and her really start getting closer. Well, I mean, I like again, I actually knew her for a while, but like, um, I would say like really started hanging out during high school because
Yeah.
again, everyone's finding their own groups, and it after middle school and you get to high school, shit gets weird with friends if you don't stay close or have a class with each other. But
Yeah.
yeah, I left that group. I came back after that Christmas break, and I'm like, yo, let me just hang out with my normal friends. So that's when I got back with hanging out with her and then the rest of these other guys named Adrian. Adrian was a fucking
Shout out.
hoodlum too in his own way.
Shout out
Um,
Adrian.
yeah,
Shout
so he
out.
was a good dude. He was a good dude. A
Yeah.
little hoodlum though. Um,
Yeah. He
but
had his
yeah, but
moments.
again, we're all kids and shit, just trying to find our way.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely had his moments, and um, it was a good time, man. And again, after that, I did a few things in high school. Um, I mean, everyone kind of knew me because I like clothes. So if my name was
Yeah.
mentioned, it was definitely like, oh, that guy that likes clothes, fashion this, fashion that. Uh, that was me, and I loved it actually. I absolutely loved it.
I,
So if you were talking about me, it had to be someone with clothes.
I'll add on to that real quick. Like, fucking, Rigo like was known as the Pink Dolphin guy when that was hype. Like at the time, Rigo wore that stuff like well before it became like hype beast type shit. Like, and for people that are like, what is he getting at? Like, it's like how Supreme was viewed. Like when everyone was talking about Supreme, it's kind of the same way. Like Pink Dolphin was this brand that, oh fuck, like everyone's got to have it. And then it's kind of same with Polo, Ralph Lauren, like all these phases. Like Rigo is always ahead of that, and that's why like he's talking about like the fashion stuff, and obviously like later on he went to school for it. But like in high school, like this dude was damn near a trendsetter. I don't know if it's your shit. Your what the fuck?
No, that
It's
was
like it was you.
yeah. I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. It just crashed. So
Okay,
I apologize. But go ahead.
that's all good. But yeah, no, I was just like just mentioned the fact like this guy was always ahead of the curve. So um, yeah, Rigo. I like when Rigo's talking about like him and I. Like yeah, I really didn't like hang out with Rigo. Like even I'd say like through sophomore year, I didn't really. It's not that I didn't fuck with Rigo. Like Rigo and I were friends, but it wasn't something where like oh we're hanging out every day. before school, after school, during school. Like it was one of those things like at lunch, oh, what's up, Rigo? And we kind of just bullshit about whatever it was, and then like we kind of just go our separate ways to whoever our friends were at the time. And
Until football. And yeah, until
yeah,
practice
it
happened.
was yeah, exactly. And then kind of like at football, we just be bullshitting because I wasn't getting no play. I can tell you that right now. Like I was a motherfucker. Like I was riding the bench like a motherfucker. So, um, but but yeah, I mean, and then yeah, obviously like later on, obviously we became friends and stuff. But yeah, Rigo never really scrapped. So to answer the original question I had, did Rigo get into fights or anything? No, he didn't. He's a good kid.
Yeah, man. Not a yeah, yeah.
He's a
But
lover,
also
not a fighter.
to a T, well, not to a T, but yeah. I mean, that was also another reason why me and her really didn't hang out during school time, really. Because I was like in relationships where it required me to be away. I wouldn't say required, but like
Oh,
I
this
definitely wasn't hanging
motherfucker,
out with my
man.
friends. I was so I was with obviously hanging out with somebody else. Um and so I couldn't really hang out with my friends, so whatever. And then throughout my high school career, I it was kind of like that. Um, kind of funny if
Motherfucker on a
thinking
chain.
back on it. Like I'm like, damn,
This motherfucker on a chain,
high
bro.
key. I mean,
You know what's funny too is like
yeah, it is what it is.
our senior year, like specifically, like obviously like when you're a senior in high school, it's one of those years like if you've never done anything prior, like, and when I say anything, I mean like go to a high school party or like do something stupid basically. Like senior year is usually like everyone's green light, like hey, like you gotta do something stupid at least once before you leave high school. And so like for Rigo, I think he maybe went to one or two parties at least that I went to. But like besides that, like this motherfucker like was locked down. He was locked down. There was no seeing this motherfucker at anything extracurricular ever. And so I remember going into senior year. He's like, I remember going into senior year. I'm like, bro, like you can go to the first. I think it was like a party or it was a kick. What it was a kickback, a fucking kickback or whatever they like to call it. And I was like, you going? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to like me and my girl this and that. I'm like, all right, cool. Get there. I'm like, hey, where's Rigo? Oh, he's not coming. What the fuck you mean he's not coming? I just talked to him like a couple hours ago. He's like, nah, he's with this girl. I'm like, damn. Well, fast forward like later into the year,
Yeah,
Rigo kind of put his foot down and asserted dominance. And then this dude, hey, this guy was at every party he could fucking get his hands on, dog. I tell you what, this guy's a fucking party animal. If you're not careful, if you don't keep this guy, if Rigo doesn't go out, like he's like you gotta water the plants once a week. Like if this guy's not allowed to go out at least once a month, I mean this fucking party animal's deep down, and this guy's gonna come out. Like if let's say 6 months before he gets to turn up, better be careful. Like, keep this bull on a leash because this guy would go fucking crazy. He'd be throwing shots at everybody. Oh, take a shot, and then you look over, he hasn't taken one shot. Like he just this guy serve out
nah,
shots to everybody but himself.
I think that that era was definitely when I obviously when you go to college, I guess like that's kind of what we do and stuff. Dude, college was definitely like where it really showed. Like it was coming out, dude.
It was.
I think I was drinking like 5 times a week, probably every day if I could,
I was gonna say
and
every day. I
parties
feel
like
like
every fucking weekend. Like yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it was like every day in my apartment. When I was in college, it was like a party, and then if
This
the boys
dude's
had a
crazy,
party
dude.
like back at town, I'd be like, "Fuck it, I'm there." I'm driving back town just to go turn up with the
This
boys
dude,
and fucking
yeah.
make my
This
way
dude,
back to school and shit the next day,
this dude would drive. I remember one time this
dude.
dude
But
he came down for a party and he was fucking lit. And he's like, dude, I gotta go back to school the next day, be up at 8 o'clock. He's like, but I can't drive. I fucking drove this fuck all the way home and then came back. It's fucking crazy, dude. And keep
yo,
in mind, like, it was late, so it's not like I had
dude,
traffic or anything, but like I also like partaked in a couple of drinks. And it's like an hour and a half, like 2 hour drive from where we're at to where he was going to school at, bro. Like it was a full mission. And he texted me the next day. He's like, "How the fuck did I get here?"
yeah,
I'm like, "Dude, like you're just fucking lit, my guy." Crazy. Good times though.
Yeah, and it wasn't like drinking, like just hanging out. Yeah, but also to like bring it back a little bit, like again, I don't really want to talk about high school because high school's done or whatever. But
Yeah.
it wasn't also because I was locked down in a relationship. Like, I mean, I was kinda really. I'm not
It
gonna say
was like
100%, but
I
like
would say it
I'll
was
say
like
90% of the time I
65%.
was. But yeah, I'd say like more like 80, bro. If we're being honest, like 85. But
Yeah.
the other percentage is because I was hanging out with my brother. Like people that don't know, like me and my brother were like very, very close. So like
Yeah.
he kind of like I would hang out with him like anytime I could because he was also going to school and he was working and stuff. So like after high school or not after high school, after school and stuff, he would pick me up and I would hang out with him. If I was hanging out with my past relationships, I was hanging out with my brother.
Yeah.
Like religiously. So there wasn't one moment that I wasn't with my brother or whatever. So that was also like another reason, especially when
Dude,
I
you
went to
should
college,
tell.
like this motherfucker. Like, if you guys think I drink, yeah, go on. What were you gonna say?
I was just to say, like, I feel like, and it doesn't have to be today, but like, I definitely feel like you should tell the party next door story with your brother.
Dude, I would talk about it right now.
Okay, yeah, let's get it.
Damn.
That's an all
I'm
timer.
trying
That's
to
an all
I
timer,
gotta
bro.
oh, okay. Yeah, so again, but just before I get into that, just to kind of give context, my brother is a wild motherfucker. Like he was kind of the reason like I kind of did some of the shit I did and even like got to the point where I was like, damn, like I need to slow the fuck down on my drinking because it's getting out of control. My brother did not give a fuck. Like when I say like he
All
was like, if you told
gas,
him like, hey bro,
no
like the
brakes.
yeah, yo,
Literally.
if there was brakes on the car or whatever, this motherfucker is yanking the bitches out and we're going 150 miles to the max speed is what we're doing. Like it didn't matter how we got there, we were fucking getting there. So my brother, like I said, he's very, very like about it. Like you fucking tell him like, hey, let's go to a party or some shit. Like, hey, there's a little kickback, let's go drink or something like that, right? He's like, all right, fuck it, I'm going to the liquor store. Immediately going to the liquor store, or he's pulling some shit out of the car because he already has it on him. And again, I'll go into more stories about like some shit he's done. But the party next door story. I think this is no, that wasn't my first concert. I think it was my third concert. We were definitely in high school, right? Senior year. It was senior year. My brother's like, hey, bro, like, do you want to go see Party Next Door in San Francisco? And damn. So he's like, yeah, let's go to San Francisco. Let's go watch Party Next Door. I'm like, fucking bet, dude. Like, I'm so down. What time? I think it was that Friday, right? It was Friday.
Yeah, it's
Like
definitely like a
a
Friday
couple
night.
hours right
Yeah.
after school ended.
Yeah.
It was like 8 o'clock or 7 or some shit, like some weird time. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I think it was like
Anyways,
8. Yeah.
he's like, yeah, and mind you, right? Like I didn't know I didn't know anybody else that was gonna be there at all. My brother told me like, yo, let's go. I'm fucking down. Like, are we drinking or we're not drinking? Like, what the fuck's the plan? He's like, motherfucker, mind you, I'm in school and he's texting me like, hey, let's go to party next time. I'm like, yo, I'm geeked the fuck up. I'm like, I'm ready to go. Well, we got in the car, what's going on in the whip and shit. So he's like, yo, don't worry about it. Go home, change. I'll go pick you up and we're gonna drive down to SF and we're going. Mind you, my brother had a Camaro. This guy souped it up, like put hella money into the Camaro. So badass. I'm thinking I'm the shit. My brother's thinking he's the shit. Um, Motherfucker has Hennessy in the fucking. He has handles of Hennessy in the fucking car, right? Mind you, again, we do not condone drinking and driving whatsoever. Like at all. Don't do it. It is not the choice. Like no. It's just a flat at no, right? Obviously, we're young. We don't know any better. So he's like, pops, and he's like, all right, bro, fucking swig this shit. Mind you, it's not like those little like the little 12-ounce handles. It's the fucking bottle, the normal bottles that you get, whatever. And he's like, hey, we gotta finish this shit before we get there, right? Mind you, again, don't condone drinking. Brand new fucking bottle. I'm looking at him like, this motherfucker's crazy. How the fuck are we gonna finish this shit? But I'm down. So he pops his shit up. I'm swinging this shit back. He's swinging it back. Bro, we're like maybe 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes out of the city because we had to put gas in. I'm fucking sauced. My brother's sauced. Don't know how the fuck he's driving because anybody that knows driving to San Francisco is not an easy drive. Like it's sketchy and there's a bunch of weird shit, right? Long story short, we get there. I'm turn, my brother's turn. Um, we get into the concert, having a good old fucking time. I see Hearn there. I'm like, oh shit, Hearn, you fucking here too, right? He's like, yeah, we're turning up. But my brother has this thing where like he always has to meet the artist. So like not only did like we were in the front of the concert, we got the VIP passes and everything. So like if we're going to a concert, we're meeting somebody, right? So we meet party next door. Like mind you, the whole concert we're lit, we're smoking or whatever the fuck. So it's a great fucking time. Love every moment. I'm loving it. We go up to see party next door. Um, again, like my brother, I think I learned this from him. Like anywhere we go, we got to get a souvenir. So my brother was leaving with something, meeting somebody, right? So I shit you not, this is on my mama, bro. This ain't no made up story. My brother talks to party next door and tells this motherfucker, I need a hat, bro. I need a fucking hat. Party next door fucking looks to his security guard, not his security guard, his boy, whatever the fuck, somebody next to him, right? Like his entourage, his boy, whatever the fuck. He's like, hey, bro, give him your hat. And he's like, his buddy looks at him, and is like, what? He's like, yeah, bro, take your hat, get out, give him your hat. The dude takes his hat off, gives his shit to my brother. Brother puts and then not okay, so he takes it off, right? Gives it to my brother. And he fucking signs it, right? Whatever messages he has on. He's like, yeah, bro, these hats haven't dropped yet. It's like a new shit, whatever, coming out that year, whatever. My brother's like, oh shit, tight shit. Dabbing him up, whatever the fuck, having this conversation for like 10, 15 minutes, bro. My shit felt like I'm a kid. I'm just looking like, damn, I don't know what to say because I'm like low key starstruck. But my brother's just going off on a fucking little tangent. Talk about his whole life story and whatever the fuck they're talking about. And yeah, he gets the hat, whatever. Um uh we're like, all right, it's time to go. Gotta find the fucking the car. Um but by this time, uh pretty much fucking kind of faded, trying to figure out where the fuck the car's at.